Yeah! Ladies and gentlemen, this evening we bring to you a special episode. But as always, let us start with the magical words: dream it, believe it, become it.
Come on down, come on down, come on down. And may we start with a special salute to the Queen.
Hold tight. Let me just say, Spencer, condolences to the whole royal family. A nation is at mourning at the moment with the passing of Queen Elizabeth II. And we on The Fight Is Right only thought it right to show respect, pay respect to the royal family. Not only have we lost a head of state, a queen, but let's not forget she is also a mother to children. So, you know, King Charles now, as he said, has lost not only a queen, but he's lost a mother. And you would know how King Charles is feeling right now with the passing of your mother just recently.
100% Tunde. And I will say this, we're getting a lot of back and forth, but this is what I'm saying is this. I don't care about anything, what, past histories and everything else like that. It's not the time to be speaking about past histories or past atrocities or past. It's still human life. And we must be respecters of human life and also respecters to the fact of what the monarchy represents in today's society. Right? And in today's society, if I was to link that to lineage of boxing, when the Queen got, when they had the coronation of the Queen, when she became the Queen, right?
Yes.
From that time, when she became the Queen, from the coronation up to her passing, yes, she, in the lineal heavyweight championship perspective, she went from Rocky Marciano,
yes,
Tyson Fury.
Touching it.
Now, let's be real on this now, right? Rocky Marciano, who retired from the sport 49-0, right? That was a big, massive thing at the time. And so she's gone from one lineal champion to present day an undefeated lineal champion in Tyson Fury. So if I was to hold on to that or to encompass that of the historical point of view of what the Queen represents and has represented, then it's a big thing. And it's only till you see your friends, my friend Andrew Harding, who Tunde knows, who owns Your Golf Travel,
yes,
phoned me distraught in tears at the news of the Queen passing. Right? So when people want to be cynical or you want to laugh about certain things like he and all the rest of it, or like, no, we have to respect human life in the same way. Like if it was your mother that passed,
yes,
you want somebody to respect human life.
Talking expense.
And that's what I'm saying. And in closing, because we've got other things to touch on, Tun, I must, because I will feel remiss if I don't address the fact of the things that Trevor Sinclair said about not mourning the fact of the Queen's passing, and that no black or brown person should be mourning the Queen, to the fact of racism and like, no, you're wrong. You're
Trevor
wrong.
Sinclair, he wasn't speaking for me.
Right. Listen, I'm a black man with brown skin. You ain't speaking for me, brother. Right? and I ain't itching where I don't itch. I'm not cooning where I don't have to coon. I'm not doing none of those kind of foolishness. I'm telling you, be respectful of human life. And I see this guy Wayne McCleary saying, "Yeah, Trevor's entitled to his own opinion." I do, I agree. But I'm gonna let me touch on this. I do. You are entitled to your opinion, but your opinion, yeah, it's all about timing.
Yes, brother.
Right? That weren't the time for you to run up. And also, if he's entitled to his opinion, stick by your opinion and don't come on a weak-ass apology afterwards. You run off your mouth, right? And then you try and come with some apology, which is awful. Thank you very much. Damn if that's Gary just put that was awful timing, and I get it. You know what I mean? You're pent up, but also, listen to me, yeah? It says in scripture that he without sin cast the first stone. Now, don't let no one have to dig up your past or your things that you've done. You know what I mean? Because there's a big catalogue of it. So I'm saying timing was awful. The nation is mourning, right? And now also you're screaming at, oh, well, it's mental health issues. I'm not knocking the mental health issues or all the rest of it, yeah? But before you speak, as I get warned time and time again, right? Don't act off of emotional intelligence or sometimes emotional unintelligence. Right? Respect life, period. I don't care who's passed from who hasn't passed. Respect life. Because if that was my mother that passed away, yeah, and somebody turned around and said that you should be mourning my mom,
straight left foot, right hand.
Come on. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm touching on those kind of things. Let's respect life. Trevor, you were wrong. Period. Right? I'm telling you that now. And Bobby Wright, thank you. This is Bobby Wright. Bobby Wright is a serviceman for the Queen, right? Because he's in the military. Bobby Wright was very upset because we're seeing like there's like a collage, a picture that's out right now with the Union flag, because it's not called the Union Jack. People need to remember this part here. The Union Jack is only when it's on a ship. It is the Union flag. Right? And it's got 12 divisions, which is split off because it represents actually the 12 tribes of Israel. A lot of you don't know that, but I'm educating people right now. So so there's pictures out of, it says underneath, it says, now it's time for me to kneel. Meaning like when people were kneeling for the Black Lives Matter, that weren't the time to kneel. I'm saying again, represent and respect life. I don't business who has been living and who's passed. Let's just respect life. And when we're looking at someone of the Queen was a powerful figure simply because even down to our rhetoric of speech, Tunde, where we got to go earn that paper, we got to earn the Queen's head.
Yes.
But you know what I mean? When certain man I know was bang up in jail, he said, right, you didn't even send me a letter. How you going to send him a letter? You have to lick the stamp. Who's on the stamp? Go read inside your passport. Everyone who's got a British passport knows the power of the British passport. Tunde knows because you're Nigerian. Try and leave your passport abscond somewhere in Nigeria and see what's going to happen to you.
I got both.
You know when your cousin would teeth that and try to fly to England, right? It says on the passport, it says to the bearer of this passport, literally because I'm paraphrasing, but the Queen is asking for their safe travel and safety within the country they are. That is signed off from the Queen. So don't talk about being anti-establishment when it suits you, because I know bare people talking about Queen this, Queen that, but still collecting social welfare.
Come on, toot the thing.
Right. So spare me from any of these kind of things. So we at the Fight Is Right, myself, Gary Blake, Tunde Ajayi, right, are showing respect and homage to the Queen.
Yes.
Right? And that's me done on the case.
And who don't like it, when I come through the ends, talk to me. Talk to me. Because I'll tell you about yourself. Because I'll tell you. As I said, you man, certain man are there brushing the Queen and everything like that. But I see you in the job center. Collecting the money. You understand? I see you asking for a place to stay. So you can't totally disrespect. You can't. You just have to respect life and have your opinions. I've got my own personal opinions. But as Spencer has quite rightly said, there is a time and a place. You do not
very much.
Start disrespecting a man's mum. You don't do that. You don't disrespect a man's mum as soon as your mother has died. But anyway, I feel that, you know, this is not a bashing show. We're not here to bash anybody. I'm sure Mr. Sinclar Trevor is you know, he's thinking about his faults, and he, in fairness, he has apologized for what he said. But it is
Tunde, he's apologizing now because he's going to be out of a job.
Well, listen, I don't know about. I mean, I don't
Right,
know.
I'm just Tunde.
What I'm trying to say is, we all do things wrong. You said it. You said it, Spence. You said who is without sin cast the first stone.
100%.
So we know that, and he's apologized. So we have to take the brother's apology, and that's it. Move on. But you know, the brother's getting a lot of stick online, and you expect that. You expect that because, as Gary has said, as you have said, it's just the timing. The timing was totally ill-timed, and let's move on. Let's not belabor that point. Let's just say again, rise our glass to the Queen, and rest in eternal paradise. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get back to taking off my glasses because we got a special guest around here. The lovely, anyway, Spence. You know me. Once I start boosting up the people, it's different levels. But I'm gonna let you introduce this lovely young lady to the Fight Is Right, a special guest we have on today. It's just like, you know, right now the women are representing the sport of boxing in a way that really has never been seen. You know, the way they're articulating the sport, the love for the sport, and how they're competing. They ain't doing this ducking and dodging, fighting all 59 fights before you fight a world title. 2 fights and we're in there, mate. Straight left hook, right hook. So this young lady is undefeated and a world champion. So Spencer Fearon, let me hand it over to you.
Yep. We have in the back there a young lady who is the real deal. She is the current WBC, current IBF, super lightweight champion of the world. And I bow humbly to say we've just lost the queen, but now on our show we have a queen.
Come on.
It's Chantelle Cameron. Big up, Chantelle.
Hello, how are you two?
Yeah.
I'm really good, sis. I'm really good.
Thanks for the intro.
Now, sis, you're doing great. You're doing great things. I just remember speaking to you. That was the night before when you came down to the show, when you picked up the IBF crown, right?
Oh yeah, O2, yeah.
Yep. And you came out to the show to support. You watched the show and then you bounced. And I said, "We doing that in?" Like I remember, I gave you this for ESPN, and I'm saying like, you have a really, really big fight coming up.
Hold on, Spencer. Let me tell you something. People online, Gary, hold it there. Hold your hand on the button. Anybody who comes on this thing here, anybody who comes on the show this evening showing any form of disrespect, straight block. So Mr. K2 Jr., see you later, mate. I like that one. You're blocked. Don't come back around here. Sorry, Chantelle. That's how I deal with things. Guys, you know what right now. Go on, Spence. Sorry.
Yeah, Chantelle. Yeah, after when you won that, and people also not realize that you are the lineal world champion because you hold the Ring Magazine belt as well.
Yes.
Your next fight up against McCaskill is for the undisputed 140 championship. Did you think that you will end up fighting for an undisputed championship this early?
To be honest, I was in a tournament where it was going to be... So my last fight for the IBF and the Ring Magazine belt was part of the tournament. So I thought I was going to be fighting March in the final for undisputed, but there was a delay with that because my opponent was poorly. So she's had a few health issues and it was a bit of a delay. So I didn't think undisputed was going to happen again. It was kind of... I was touching it and then it got taken away from me, and then it was like, oh, it's not going to happen now because it was just a massive delay. But luckily and thank God, like it's happening again. So, but this time against McCaskill, so a bigger fight for me, a tougher opponent, which makes it a bit more rewarding as long as I get that win, knowing that I beat an undisputed at 147, challenging me for at 140. So when one door closes, another opens.
100%. What do you know about McCaskill? Because I was there at a fight at the York Hall when she boxed Katie Taylor. But when you look at that in retrospect, she was like only like, I think it was like a year and a half, 2 years as a professional then.
Yes.
She's grown now. She's become a better fighter.
She had a really good fight with Katie Taylor as well.
She really did.
Was pushing Katie Taylor back, sticking it on a massive high work rate. But exactly like me, I've got a high work rate on turf. I come forward. So I think it's just going to be an explosive fight, and the best woman's going to win. And who's the fittest, who's the strongest. But I just think I've got that bit more edge on her with the boxing IQ.
Okay.
Would you say that this is definitely your toughest fight to date?
Yeah, without a doubt. She's undisputed at 147, and what she's done in her own career is unbelievable. So I've got to respect that. So it's definitely my toughest opponent to date. But that's what gives me the extra motivation, and that's what I needed. It's kind of, I needed that fire in me where it's going to get me up in the morning to do my runs and give me that extra round or 2 rounds in the boxing gym and just push me on, because I know that I'm up against a real test now.
So tell us a little about that. You know, your experience. You know, I know you got a great trainer in Jamie.
Yeah.
One of my bro. I respect that guy so much. He's a real
good guy, man. Very good guy.
From the jump, and I remember years ago him coming down working for Sky. You know, doing a little interview with a kid I used to train. Me and him talking. You know, he's big on the law of attraction and what have you. But I know you got a lot of characters around you in your gym. Nigel, another character. Used to be at the Fitzroy Lodge, and it seemed. What's it like to be around these guys every day? I know you got Jack Carroll in the gym as well.
Yeah, do you know what it is? I think as well, it gives me that confidence, because I know I've got such a good team behind me. I feel like I'm also taking that in the ring with me, thinking I've got that extra as well. Like, I think my team's so good and I've got such a good backing by my team. I think that gives me that extra edge on McCaskill as well, because I think look at Jamie's own career, what he's been and done and what he could have achieved as well. But obviously he retired quite early. But having Jamie, I said it to him the other day, like when you're in the corner and you know you're in a tough fight and he's looking in your eyes and telling you to do something, he's been there and done it. So you're looking at him thinking, if he can do it, I can do it. And you kind of got that understanding with him, and they're just good people. Like, they're not about the hype train or anything. They don't want the limelight. So there's a lot of coaches in that they make it about them and not the boxer. Whereas Jamie and Nige, they just care about their boxers and they treat you like their family as well. So it's a great team to have behind me, and it's given me that confidence as well. Going into the ring knowing that win, lose, draw, I'm still Chantelle. Then they're not going to kick me to the curb because I took a loss, and they care about you as a fighter, and they've got my best interest, not anyone else's interest. They don't care about anyone else but their fighters, and that's 100% with them.
Yes, absolutely. Spence, I mean, I'll ask you another question. I mean, right now, you know, women's boxing has really been put on the map. You know, unfortunately, we had a postponement of Savannah and Clarissa. But what is it like at this time as a woman, you know, to be involved in this meteoric rise of women's boxing? What does that mean for you?
Do you know what? It's unbelievable now, because before, like when I first started pro boxing, it was kind of like, oh, women's boxing, not too interested. You'd be at the bottom of the card, try to get you out the way so that no one really sees empty crowds. Where now, like, women are headlining. UK was going to be the first ever women's card. Obviously, unfortunately, it got postponed. But women now are flying the flag. Like, if you look at some of the women's fights, they've been so entertaining. You could say they were better than the men's. And they're 50-50 fights where us women now, we're challenging each other. So, like, we're not ducking and diving. We're like, right, you've got the belt, we want to fight you. Or you're undisputed, so I want to fight you. So the women are taking the risks as well and knowing that you're fighting the best, which is good. I think that's what boxing needs.
100%. I think also it's like when you look at things historically, when you have a pool of talent, with female boxing, which is just boxing now, but we've got to class it as that because as far as I'm concerned, boxing is just boxing because the skill levels that's being demonstrated by you females now, right? Before, when female boxing was out, I was very, very cynical of female boxing. You had like certain women who had ridiculous fighting ability, fighting women who were like far down the level when it came to rankings, but they'd get shots at world titles. It's different now because the best now are actually fighting the best. Does that responsibility on your show, is it heavy to carry that responsibility, Chantelle?
I think it's good because I think it inspires me a bit as well, because as much as I want to do well for my career, I look at the younger generation and think how exciting it's going to be for them, because what we're talking about women's boxing now is still got a long way to go as well. Like it's come along a long way, but there still is further to go. So it's exciting for the younger generation that are going to come through, and like I'll be long gone by the time these new generation coming through, and hopefully equal fights, hopefully 3-minute rounds, equal pace, and hopefully it's going to be even bigger and better for them, and there's going to be so much more talent as well. Like the GB lot now, when they come through again, it's exciting because there's that talent coming through, whereas when I first turned pro, like you said, the depth of talent, it was quite limited, whereas now it's opened up. So you got like the middle and elite, whereas before it was there to elite and there was no middle, whereas now you're going to start seeing the middle, which is going to be a lot better for women's boxing.
Good. A lot of people don't know you actually came into the boxing scene late. Tell the fighters right a little bit about that, because I think you, correct me if I'm mistaken, but you was actually doing kickboxing first.
Yeah, so I've done kickboxing, Thai boxing, and then I come into amateur boxing.
And how long was you an amateur for?
I was amateur for 8 years. 9 years. I was amateur for a year, and then I got put on Team GB within a year. So my career was quite full on. It was just put my foot in the door for the amateur boxing, and then I was on Team GB within a year. So it was very full on.
And what would you say the difference is, or the difference have been, from really going from the amateur scene? So I mean, I know. I heard Savannah Marshall and all these, you were teammates with these girls.
Yeah. I think the amateurs, it didn't suit me as much. And my amateur coach, like, he kind of didn't want me to go to the international boxing scene because it's a lot different. And my style was very more like a pro back then even. So my amateur coach at the time was in Northampton, was kind of anti-GB and kind of wanted to hold me back, but he knew that Team GB was the one to go to the Olympics and stuff, whereas there was no pros back then. Like 5-6 years ago, you wouldn't see women's pro on TV. You'd have to go to Germany or America. So that time for me, it didn't make sense. So I think with the amateurs, it was more my style just didn't suit it. That was it's more amateurs, a bit more on your feet, tip tappy, in and out, and I struggled with that a bit.
Let's put on the positive cap on, as we always walk down the street with. You beat McCaskill, unified the division, become undisputed. Could we ever see a Katie Taylor matchup? Because that is that's a licks I want to see. You and Katie Taylor. What's the possibility of that ever happening?
I would love the fight. So I've been told a few times, like, if I win undisputed, there's a chance I could fight Katie, because in all respect to Katie, is she doesn't need to fight me, because she's had the fight with Amanda Serrano, and
which was an incredible fight.
Yeah, unbelievable. So that deserves a rematch again. Like, I think if they don't have a rematch, it will be a shame for the sport. And then obviously I think there's talks about crossover fights and everything. Whereas if I'm not undisputed, then why would Katie fight me? There's bigger fights out there which were entitled to a bigger payday. So for me, I think as long as I win undisputed, then I've got more chance of the fight happening.
Thank you, Anton Hong Sang, for the £10. He said, Lil Capo going to settle McCaskill. All-round skill set versus one-dimensional heavy bombs. So I guess that's you, Capo.
Yeah.
And you already see the people are saying you're going to deal with her. I mean, it's going to be a great fight. The fight is it in Saudi?
Saudi Arabia, yeah. No, sorry, Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi.
That's another experience, I guess.
Oh, unbelievable. Like last year I was in Vegas fighting, and then this year we're going to Abu Dhabi, so what an experience.
I mean, most of your fights have been in the UK.
Yeah.
So to fight really, you know, in which is fast becoming the mecca of boxing is definitely going to be something for you. Spence?
Yeah, I'm still looking at your fighting style, right? I'm still trying to work it out because, like, ask Jamie, you're gonna have to wake up very early in the morning to watch more boxing than me. But I'm looking at your fighting style, yeah, and it's like a technical roughhouse style of fighting. Who do you watch? Because I'm trying to work this out. Who do you watch?
So you asked Jamie and that now it's like a bit of a joke in the gym that I'm like a bit of a Jack Catterall, Mark Leach and Akib because I've been sparring them. I've like been picking stuff up from them. So like my last fight is I was like, I think it was the last 10 seconds of rounds, I was like slipping and diving and that. And I was having fun with it because I knew I was winning and she was tough. She weren't going anywhere. So I thought, you know, I'm going to have a bit of fun here. So I didn't even know my style now. I think Jamie and Nigel have changed me quite a lot because they have me rough inside, but they also have me relax and slipping, diving and having a bit of fun with it as well. So I can't really explain myself now. I think I've changed a lot.
Well, that's a very smart answer because never tell anyone who you watch.
Yeah.
I see Chantelle just trying to think, bro, how can I slide this question out? I don't want...
Now, you know what? There's loads of times, there's loads of you do remind me of a lot of Mexican fighters. You do your style.
She ain't telling you, Spence.
Yeah, no, it don't matter. But for all the young people on here, go and watch Humberto Gonzalez and then come back to me because that's who you remind me of. And then you be thinking like, right, you know, young kids now. But Humberto Gonzalez, very, very similar style. Like both very thick-legged fighters, sit down on their punches. And not only that, is good to move side to side and throw off the shots. Stammer Facel saying that I'm dissolving again. So what I'm gonna, I don't know why. I don't know what's wrong with
it's your Wi-Fi, mate. Sort out your dodgy Wi-Fi. You may be the knowledge and have the nice shirt and tie, but you need to sort out your Wi-Fi, mate.
Well, Tunde, continue. Is it back to normal now, Gary? Just let me know.
You need to jump in and jump out.
All right, cool.
I know P was there saying we missed the Snapchat. Sorry about that, my man. But P, thank you for the £5. He said, good evening. Big up Chantelle. She's in the house. And you know what, Shans? You're sharp. How I know you're sharp? Because Spencer asked Shakur Stevenson the same question. Like, what fighters are you studying that? Shakur was like, I ain't telling you what fighters I'm studying. I'm studying because we just don't, you don't want them to know. Because
can't tell too much because then your opponents know what I'm going to come. So I just mix it up, mix everything up, do a bit of everything.
Whoever you're watching and whoever you're studying, keep doing it. That's what I would say because says, you know, you really got a crowd pleasing style and you're winning. You ain't lost. So just keep doing what you're doing. Spence, you still kind of look like a bit of a Dalek from the old.
I don't even know what's wrong with this thing, you know. You know what? I think it's too much blinking people in my house using Wi-Fi. I'm gonna start lock off these kids off of this Wi-Fi.
So how's February? I mean, the fight's in November, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
November 5th.
November the 5th.
Yeah.
So okay, so how's are you in camp now? Have you started yet?
Yeah, I started a couple of weeks ago, but I was just like ticking over, not burning out. So just doing a lot of tactical work. So I've been doing it for the last 3-4 months. So now it's actually getting in my brain now and it's glued in. So just got to execute.
Yes, for sure.
But we've got a game A, game B, game C. Like you seen with Jack Catterall, Jamie and Nige, they're very good at getting it right. So they break down your fighter and they'll keep going over and over for weeks and weeks. And it just ingrains into you. So then when you're sparring, you pull it off. When you're doing pads, you're pulling it off. And then it comes to fight night, it's just literally second nature. So they're really good at that.
Yes, absolutely. Let me ask you about a few upcoming fights that's coming up. Obviously, the one that we're all disappointed that didn't take place was the Clarissa Shields, Savannah Marshall. What was, who did you have going into that fight in terms of the victory?
Oh, what a good fight. I was gutted when it was Savannah. I was going down to it as well. I'm going to say Savannah. Obviously, I'm going to support Savannah because it's on GB. We've been friends for a long time. But I just think Savannah at the minute, I just can't see her being beaten. I think her punch power, her style, and I just think she just got it all. And it's her mentality as well. She's completely different now. She's showing her confidence. She's believing in herself. And I think now she believes in herself. I just can't see her being beaten. But Clarissa, what a boxer. Clarissa's got such a good style. I love watching her. Would be a hard fight. It's not going to be a walk in the park. But I think Savannah's just a bit too strong. She's got long levers and she'll be hard to close down. And you don't want to be eating them jabs from Savannah.
Have you sparred with her in the past?
Of course, because we're GB squad together.
Team GB's got this bad.
So you can definitely testify for the power, yeah?
Yeah. She opened up a few times.
Yeah, because a few people are like, mate, she's punching like a geezer.
yeah, she hits so hard. She really does.
Oh, wow. All right, Ben Eubanks.
Such a good fight again. It's 50-50. I really hope Conor Ben wins.
Why do you really hope Conor Ben wins?
I love his style as well. I think obviously the size has a massive advantage for Chris Eubank, but I'm a big fan of Conor Ben, so I really hope he gets the win. Yeah. And who knows what could happen, because obviously Chris Eubank's dropping a lot of weight, but you got to give it to Eubank. He's a little bit more experienced. He's been in there and fought world champions, the likes of Groves and everyone. So I think, it's an intriguing fight, but I really hope Conor Ben wins.
Okay. Thank you very much, Gary, our guy, the man behind the cam. He just said that the Eubank Ben Faceoff is out right now on YouTube. And it's a guy, Ajayi, from the Zone that is doing it. So it's out right now, so you can go and watch it. A lot of people sitting down saying like, yeah, we got to turn on to this and go and watch this. Yeah, it's out right now, but you have to wait till the Queen has left the building before you can go and watch that, right?
Yes, sir.
Omar Lopez, thank you very much. Shout out for you all from Houston, Texas. Thank you so much. You know what? How boxing is going right now and how things are with you, I believe your fighting style, right? And because of how we've got this new regurgitation of like boxing skills, because like, as far as I'm concerned, you do a lot of old school 50s fighter stuff when you fight. Like, especially like when you're up close and you throw, and you dip down and you throw the little uppercuts on the inside, you come back with your hooks and stuff. So I've watched quite a few of your fights.
Yeah.
Right. I'm saying, like, has it really dawned on you that you're actually world champion right now?
Nah, never. It never get complacent. If you start thinking I'm a world champion, this and that, you get complacent. So my mentality is the belts don't mean nothing. Just winning. Winning's all I care about. So as much as it's great to be a world champion, have that title, it doesn't mean nothing really, because if you lose, you're going to lose it. So I think if you start thinking like, oh, I'm a world champion, I'm this, I'm that, I've beat so and so, I think you can lose your focus a little bit, and I'd never do that. I'm never complacent with any fighter. You're complacent.
When all's said and done, I mean, we'll close up. But when all's said and done, wait there, I almost forgot. Someone told me that Buffy the Vampire was your inspiration.
Yay!
Bruv, I almost forgot. It nearly slipped my mind, but you know I'm sharp as well, Chance. I'm sharp. So just tell the people about Buffy the. I used to watch that show.
Oh, I loved it. I had all the videos. It's like it's so long ago. It's like when the videos were the thing. I used to have every single box set, and I used to watch them over and over. I was obsessed. So I used to be a massive Buffy fan, and like whenever we used to be playing outside and stuff, they were playing football or rounders or 50-50 in and stuff. I was like, oh, let's play Buffy, and made up my own game where I'll be Buffy and everyone will be vampire, and he's a batter. He's like kicking them, punching them. I was, oh god, my mum used to go absolutely mad. She used to get everyone the mums knocking on the door, having a go.
Well, you're absolutely slaying everyone thus far in the boxing world, so it's definitely working. I mean, listen, you're nowhere near packing up. But I would say, I would like you to really, when all's said and done, how would you like Chantelle Cameron to be remembered in this sport of boxing?
That I feared nobody, I took risks, and I was one of the best female boxers that was around, and leaving my own legacy. So I'm on my own path.
Yes. So shall it said, so shall it be. That's what we like to hear. Listen, Chantelle, it's been amazing having you on. I know
Thanks
you're
for having
busy.
us on.
I know you got training in the morning, so we don't want to keep you up too late. But listen, wonderful. Just keep doing what you're doing. The fight is right. We're just an honor to have you on there because
Trust me. But before you go, Chantelle, what were your feelings about the passing of the Queen, please?
Very sad. Like, obviously, it was really sad, especially for Britain. I was when he found the news out. Obviously, she was 96, but it was still quite a shock because you're like, wow, the Queen's actually passed away. Sad times for Britain, and everyone's going to be in mourning now. And I hope she gets the mourning that she deserves, because what she's done for Britain and how long she reigned for she deserves everyone's respect.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, Chantelle Cameron, the WBC, IBF, and also the Ring Magazine lineal 140-pounder champion of the whole wide world. And we wish you nothing but the best in your fight against McCaskill. Bring home the bacon, sis. Go do what you're doing.
The belt.
And as Tunde Ajayi always says,
no, bring home the belt. Don't
bring on the belt, but no, Tunde, what do you say? Come on, man. Give me the line.
Dream it, believe it, and Chantelle Cameron must become it.
Go grab this thing with two hands, sis. We are looking out. We are supporting you on a mad one. Keep on doing your thing. Keep on rising. And remember, grab this thing with two hands. Peace, two fingers. My sister, we love you. Take care. God bless.
Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, Chap. Thanks. Great. Lovely lady. Lovely girl. Another one representing Miss Ringside. You got to be sharp. You can't come with bruv, you're moving like Spencer, Miss Ringside. Coming in the dance late, hoping to get the full episode. You have to rewind the thing. Rewind the show. Watch it back. Hold tight, Miss Ringside.
What a lovely young lady, you know. And you know what? I realized that. Tunde, it just seems like it's our show that's busting a young lady's life, you know.
100%.
I'm just gonna be real.
100%.
I'm just gonna be real. And this is what I'm trying to say, yeah. Wait a minute, is my thing too dodgy, is it? Rory Breaker.
It's in and out, but it's okay.
I'm getting sick and tired of this thing, you know. Chat.
It's okay now, Spence. It's okay now.
Okay, cool. Because I changed what it was. I think I had it on some metal stand thing, and maybe that was affecting it, so I just changed it. But yeah, I'm saying like
no. It's the little Wi-Fi you got, mate. You need to upgrade.
No, brother. You know what? It's Sky Wi-Fi, so I might have to change the Sky broadband. I might have to change them, you know. You know what I mean? I might have to change it. Where's Dan the man? Dan's always on there. Nah, Dan, they're taking liberties, bro.
But it's better now, though. It's better now.
Okay, cool. That's what it matters. So I'm saying, like, it's just so good to see, like, female boxing doing what it's doing, because it's just boxing. But what I also do like is the real ones, the real females are the ones who jump on and want to be on the show, who actually watch the fight is right. Because what I've realized is that the female boxers, because it seems like it's a new paradigm shift, they're the ones that are on it hard. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. You know why, Spence? It's because the sport is still growing.
Yep.
And I pray that, and I'm sure they will have this same energy when the sport becomes bigger, because a lot of these brothers, a lot of these boxers, men boxers, they reach to a certain status, and it's like they're too big to talk to people.
Tunde, I agree with you, but
certain, and I'm saying
but Tunde, everybody's showing us love.
Yeah, us is different.
Yeah, it's different. Black book powers, and you just boost up the black book till the black book got more power than black magic, and it's the truth. But but on this one here, it was Chantel's people that reached out to me and said, can you have Chantel on the show today? So I got to big up my brother Dan Miller from Boxer, who does work with Chantel as well, because he was the one that hollered me and said, Spence, would you want Chantel on? And the thing about it is like, today we was going to go with Leon Edwards and we was going to go with his trainer, Dave Lovell, right? And I said, you know what? Let's bust Chantelle, because I interviewed her when I was doing some work for ESPN, when she came down live to show down at York. And she is a beautiful young lady, you know what I mean? Very, very good-spirited person. So I said, yeah, not only that, but she really likes to rock. And I like that. I like when somebody's like, no, I'm talking about all this technical thing. No, I want to have it with you. But I'm going to have it with you technically. So I've got a lot of time of day for it. I wish her all the best for her fight. I'm being real. You saw what McCaskill did to Brackes twice. She can fight. But this, like the Katie Taylor Serrano fight was a big boy fight, right? But I'm telling you this fight, because of their styles, son, could maybe even surpass that, you know? I'm telling you.
Yeah.
All right, Tunde, I watched the two styles of the two fighters. I am telling you, they will gel. You know what I mean? Trust me, because both of them are going to be in each other's chest like Benelin, like Vicks Vapor Rub. They're going to be on each other. This fight could be reminiscent, and because I like for you the guys to go and study. I'm not just talking for the sake of talking sake, but this fight could be very, very reminiscent of Joe Frazier's world title defense against Jerry Corey. Right? Trust me, I think that fight was in 70 or 69, but these two men just came out and they sat on each other and had it. And I think this could be the equivalent of that fight. Yes, Spencer of Knowledge, Fearon has just said so. On the fight is right. Come on down.
Someone was asking about the Tank and Garcia fight, and that it may be scheduled for December. Any truth to that, Spence?
Tunde, listen, Garcia is very clever. Garcia is good at calling out man and doing whatever. Garcia does not want that smoke. Right? And I think Garcia and his people, remember, Garcia, same thing, man, saying that my internet is still poor. Garcia is that guy where he's got the fan base. You know what I mean? And he's talented as well. But we hear this all the time. He calls out these people and then he goes quiet and then he fights some also run. So until things are signed, that's when I'm going to buy into it.
Gagora says, McCaskill recently got engaged to her coach, Rick Ramos. Might be good timing for Chantelle. You know what? That's so bizarre, you know, because I was just watching a thing prior to coming in the show, doing my little research on that. And when she was talking, I was like, hold on. She was talking about the relationship her and her coach have got and that it works. So I was thinking, hold on. Is this girl seeing the coach? And now, obviously, this has just been confirmed. Hold on. Snapchat erases any word coming from my mouth. Old tight Sam. Hands down. Thank you for the £10 first, sir. He says, hands down, this is the best boxing show on YouTube. Great knowledge, realness, and jokes. Between the bone marrow, behind the comment, and monkey nut incident, don't think I've laughed so hard. Thanks, guys. Old tight Sam. Oh, you know, it's the real thing. And that's why I occasionally morph out into what we call the street talk and then really pinch myself and just get back into the common English language, which everyone will know. But that's the realness. Like, I can't help it. You know, I've been pulled up on a few, I got pulled up a few times last week about using the words fam and bruv. But I'm like, listen, it just comes out sometimes. My mum is ringing. So Spencer, we did. Don't try that. No, Spencer, not again. No. Hold on, my mum's phoning, Spence. You gotta take over, mate. Mummy.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I was eating again. Rams, you're a little spy. Don't watch me, bro. But listen, when Tunde gets off of the phone, speaking to his beloved mother, I want to run a survey on the name Elizabeth. I want to run a Segan. I want to run a survey on the name Elizabeth because I believe that Elizabeth, the name Elizabeth, there are more Nigerian females called Elizabeth than anywhere else in any of the Commonwealth countries or anywhere else. Can someone just check that for me, please? P, I don't eat shepherd's pie, you know. I don't eat shepherd's pie. I haven't had shepherd's pie since primary school, but I ain't gonna. At primary school, shepherd's pie was delicious. Who used to? What? Next thing I want to hear, right? Who used to like school dinners? Because my school dinners, my mastery, trust me, my school dinners were absolutely fabulous. I ain't gonna lie. They were on another level of no, seriously. I went to Cowley Primary School that then got renamed Mostyn Gardens. But I'm telling you now, the school dinners at my primary school were the ones.
But can you explain to us, Spencer, why after last week's nonsense, you still feel the need to eat on the show live?
I deliberately just brought it onto why I was waiting for you to mention it. So I said, yeah, let me just bring some donuts today.
Anyway, where was I? I missed the conversation. You know, mommy trumps everything, so I had to deal with
1,000,000%. That's the real queen. That's a real queen over there. You know what I mean? And
I keep on saying
what I want to know, Ton.
Yes.
This is what I want to know. This 60-40, I really need to hear your opinion because I've spoken enough today.
Yes.
This 60-40 has been offered by Tyson Fury to Anthony Joshua. What is your opinion on that, sir?
Well, what I would say is this. Tyson Fury holds all the cards at the moment. You know, Anthony Joshua is coming off of 2 losses. Tyson Fury is the WBC and still the lineal champion, heavyweight champion of the world. And so from that perspective, you can actually say that Tyson is really being generous to Anthony Joshua. But I always look at this. Who's the bigger personality? Who's got the bigger numbers? Who can do the bigger numbers? The fact that we are talking about the loser of the last 2 contests more than the winner. Anthony Joshua's name is still bigger than Alexander Usyk. And in that respect, his name still carries weight. So Anthony Joshua is in a situation whereby he can say, no. I don't business if I lost the last 2 fights. I'm still bringing the numbers. The people still want to see. They still want to see whether, I've got it. I'm only 32 years young. I still got many years left in the game as far as I'm concerned. And Ajayi, I still believe has the ability to jam out. Listen, let's put it like this. If you go down the road and pull any granny, and by granny I mean anyone over 70, 80, and say, do they know Alexander Usyk or Anthony Joshua? I'm telling you that 95% of them grannies will say they've heard of Anthony Joshua. And that's the pull of Anthony Joshua. And so from a business perspective and aspect, he is capable, in my opinion, of asking for a 50-50 cut. He is. But in real terms, it's all dependent if he really wants to fight. If Anthony Joshua really wants to fight, he'll take the 60-40. You know, he takes the 60-40. So it will be down to the 258 management and Anthony himself to make that final decision. But I do feel Tyson Fury is being very smart. I can't see actually how Anthony Joshua and his team will just rush into it. Me personally, I don't think that's a wise choice just rushing into another. Tyson Fury is not a joke. Tyson Fury is not a joke, and it will be a great time to fight someone like Anthony Joshua after coming off of 2 defeats. So, I mean, I don't know if I think 60-40 is definitely a fair offer from Tyson Fury. Definitely. But when you look at the mechanics of the thing, the people who actually are gonna buy the pay-per-views, you got to go with AJ for that. And I'm not being biased because men lie, women lie.
Luke, it said
Men lie.
Tunde is being biased defending his fellow Nigerian.
Men lie, women lie. Spencer Fearon lies, and Tunde Ajayi occasionally lies. But numbers don't lie. And in that respect, I would say, even though Tyson jam out Wembley Arena on his own, again, it's not to say Tyson Fury's no slouch. Tyson Fury, I believe, we'll see in it. If he can sell out another stadium fighting Manuel Char, then believe me, he's in his full right to say 60-40. And that's being generous. If he can't, and AJ can still fill out a stadium, fighting someone like what's the boy that he was supposed to fight, and Ruiz came in as a replacement.
Oh, Big Baby Miller. Big
Baby Miller. If he can fill out a stadium fighting Big Baby Miller, bro, AJ's still up there, mate. He's still up there. So yeah, let's say if we want to be real, let's say 65. No. 60-40. So what is 45-55? Let's say that. Let's go with 45-55. And I think that's fair.
I hear that, but I'm just going to keep this thing totally 100.
Yes.
At this present moment, Anthony Joshua is not in the position mentally to go in and fight Tyson Fury.
Well, we said that. We absolutely said that.
Right. And I don't think that would be a good thing for him to do. And I know like certain things can be done off the back of impulsive ego. And I think with this case here, I don't care. Anthony Joshua, I've spoken to him quite a few times since his only arrival back in the UK. And the realization is the realization. And I think he's accepting of the realization. I don't believe that Anthony Joshua needs to go and fight Tyson Fury right now. The British public are saying, yeah, get that fight on. Right? And it's because they're bad mind, because they want to see Anthony Joshua get beat up. Right? Tunde, I'm being real. Who on the right, like we're looking at it, we're saying, right, Usyk versus Tyson Fury, even though styles make fight, we go by that old adage. Anthony Joshua has lost 2 fights back to back to the same man. Yeah. Right? Right now, what Anthony Joshua needs to do is to sit back, relax for a little piece, come back and build your confidence. Right? Yeah, so when you're going into the fight with Tyson Fury, because that fight's not going away. I'm telling you this now. If Anthony Joshua comes back and starts winning again, which I believe he will do, that fight is not going to go away. Tyson Fury could say, all right, then to hell with it, I'm going to retire and this and that and all the rest of it. No, brother. When Tyson Fury was out of the game for a little while, yeah? When Tyson Fury was out of the game, right? And his mind went on it. He went through depression. He went through, he had certain abuse issues that he had to go take care of and all the rest of it, right? And he came back. He still was coming back knowing that I was the man that beat Klitschko. I am the man that is still the lineal champion in my mindset. I'm that guy. This is the difference. So you still were coming back to something where you have never lost. Anthony Joshua now has lost 3 times and he's lost twice to the same person. Anthony Joshua needs to build back his confidence. Anthony Joshua needs to build back his team. Someone just put up something here about what do I think about Brian McGregor's comments, yeah?
Finish your
Sorry. And I just believe that's what Anthony Joshua needs to do. I think he needs to rebuild. He needs to rebuild himself mentally, physically, and spiritually, because I've said on many a times that boxing is spiritual, and loads of these little guys who don't know the game try to slag me off, say, what are you talking about? But now all of a sudden, Usyk said, right, this game is spiritual, and everyone's trying to, I get it now, I get it. So it's all right when Usyk says it, but when Spencer Fearon says it, no, I'm talking rubbish.
Yeah, well, I said it. AJ from the start, I said he needs 2 warm-up fights against nobody's. I'll just be honest with you. Nobody's. Just 2 man, bam.
That pain is never going away. That Tyson Fury fight is not going away.
Rebuild the confidence. Rebuild the confidence, and we just go again. That's just basic. I was just answering the question about the 60-40, but I said right from the very beginning that Anthony Joshua should have 2 fights, whether or not the people around him are going to allow him to have that, or maybe this is just all talk. Maybe this is all talk. Well, I guess it's more than talk, because Eddie Hearn has said that they've had an offer, but I don't think it's the right fight.
All right, listen to this one. What is it?
Yeah, not this time.
DJ N1 says, what do you think of, you put it up by Gary, what do you think of Barry McGuigan saying AJ should get rid of all the backpackers in his camp? Now listen to this one. Listen to this one.
Talk it.
Until you can name me who the backpackers are, the backslappers, right? You'll say all of them. You can't just throw aspersions, just throw it out there. Because then AJ could, because I know AJ listens to lots of things. You're gonna think, well, then who are the people that are slapping him on the back? Until you can name those people, you see, like me and Baba Tunde Ajayi, we don't make innuendos. We call you out by your name, brother. I want you to realize this part here. I will say, like,
what backpackers?
Right, who are they? Which ones are you talking about?
Because he also said in the same interview that he was good, he was better, he was improved.
Right. So the backpackers must have been doing something then.
So I don't know. I just don't know why it just can't be that he got beaten by the better fighter.
And that's what happened. He got beaten by the better fighter. Listen to me. If he was training with Robert McCracken, the result would have been the same.
Yeah, because you know what? As I said, there are some people in the history of boxing that have retired undefeated, but generally we lose. Or fighters lose. Shane Mosley lost twice against Vernon Forrest.
Okay.
And he lost twice against Winky
Wright.
So, but they were just his bogeyman. He couldn't beat them. It still didn't stop him from going on and having a great career. Stopping Margarito in that epic fight.
Bro, that was incredible.
Wobbling
Floyd Mayweather. And
doing well and having a great career. So AJ, doesn't need to be too upset. He just needs to. I mean, from what I see, he's back in the gym already. He's back in the gym.
He's back in the gym already, working on stuff, right? Which is like I'm saying. anything that I'm saying on here, I've personally said to Anthony Joshua, yeah, you need to rest, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Balfour says, why does Anthony Joshua care what people think? Man should not care what people think. I don't think it's a thing. Anthony Joshua is not reading every comment. He's not listening to our show, or maybe he may listen to a show and someone may.
He's listening to us. I tell you that now for sure.
But the point what I'm making is that he's gonna make his own mind. He's gonna make up his own mind, and the people we did, Spence. We did. Bro, you're moving like some little 4-year-old child. Bro, the man's mouth is covered in white. I don't know what is that, sugar or cream. Sugar. Oh, for this guy ain't got no decorum at all. Man is eating Krispy Kreme on the thing. Oh my goodness! I just can't. It's just becoming ridiculous. Can anybody explain what Spencer Fearon is doing? Because I don't. It's gone past me. Man said sugar rush.
Big up Rams. I like that. You're saying chill and build. I like that. And that's what I believe.
This is for both of you. What makes you think Tyson Fury will wait around for AJ? Usyk can't fight till next year. AJ must be looking at like, if I don't take this fight, it will never happen again. Spence, I'll let you answer that first.
No. If AJ thinks that fight will never happen again, you're rushing for this fight to happen, then take the fight. But if you truly believe in yourself, right? If you truly believe in yourself, if AJ comes back and gets back up to a level, which I believe that he can do, Tyson Fury will come out of retirement and beat him, because Tyson Fury respects the game so much, and Tyson Fury has also got a personal bee in his bonnet about Anthony Joshua. So
why?
Because he has.
Why?
Because this is what great men do. Great men do this. We saw this famously in 1987, April 6th, when Sugar Ray Leonard came off of a 3-year retirement to fight Marvin Hagler, simply because he was hearing that man was saying that Marvin Hagler was the best of his generation, and he couldn't handle that. And Tyson Fury he always says, I'm a fighting man. Yeah? He will not afford for Anthony Joshua to come back and reign that mantle where he's sitting there saying, nah, brother, I have to deal with you, because that is what he said he is. He's proclaimed on many a times that he's a fighting man, and I believe Tyson Fury when he says he's a fighting man.
Doesn't this show how much of a draw Anthony Joshua is?
Massive draw. Because
this is
I got beat twice, but man's still calling my name.
This is what I'm talking about, the 60-40 split. Let me tell you something. I'm just being honest with you. Without two men in this fight game, AJ and Wilder, this heavyweight boxing is dry. I'm just being honest with you. It's dry. That's why you're calling his name. That's why Wilder can be defeated by the Gypsy King 3 times, although he only got the nod for 2. And still, there's interest in Deontay Wilder. This is why Anthony Joshua can lose quite 2 on the trot, and still there's interest in Anthony Joshua, because it's the numbers game. It's the numbers game, and Anthony Joshua still does numbers. But you know, I just don't feel it's the time now to fight Tyson Fury.
Neither do I, and I also believe that fight will never go away. That fight won't go away. I just want you to know that fight will not go away.
Yeah, bro, Gary, you know what? That's how I know you're. You know, that's how I know me and you are on the same wavelength. You know, because I was even about to do the same thing. But anyway, people are on here asking me about I don't know about Dan Aziz versus Leonard Arthur. Has that fight been made?
No, but it was talk about it. I saw Dan this week. I saw Dan Aziz this week when I was at the Boxer open workout for Savannah Marshall, Clarissa Shields, and I saw Dan down there, and he said, "Yeah, that could be the next fight up, but nothing has not been signed. But that could be the next fight up in late October or maybe November." So we sit down with bated enthusiasm to see if that fight happens. I think that'd be a great fight. I really do think that'd be a great fight. So, but nothing's not being signed or anything. It's just whispers that we're hearing in this game.
Lyndon Arthur's fighting next week. Is that right? I think.
I'm not rightly sure. Who's Lyndon Arthur signed with now?
Wasserman.
He's signed with Wasserman. So yeah, so he'll be fighting next week on the Channel 5 show. And we'll see what's going to happen, because I know Wasserman's still got a link up with Boxer. So we'll see. If that fight goes out to purse bids, I don't know. But if it goes out to purse bids, then hopefully Wasserman win that.
My man's fighting one of our old foes. So I see what gone. So he's fighting Sequeira, Walter Sequeira, someone that Ant fought Ant fought him. When did Ant fight? Ant fought him in 2018. Ant stopped him in 4 rounds. So Leonard Arthur.
He clapping with body shots, isn't it?
Yeah, he got beat. Yeah, he just that was a good little run out for Ant. But obviously it's levels. But Leonard Arthur's fighting him next week. So I guess, he's batting for this third fight with Ant. You never know. Anything can happen in boxing. Back to this AJ situation. I think we both said we don't think it's a good fight for Anthony Joshua just quite yet. But maybe in the new year, there was talk of AJ versus Dylan 3.
Yep, there was. And Dylan was licking his lips to say, "Yep, I want that fight because I beat AJ. I'm back right in it." So I think that will be the fight that could possibly happen. I mean, I think that will be because not only that, in the UK that fight was sell. You know what I mean? Because they're both names, they're both UK homegrown talent. I'm telling you again, that fight will sell.
It's a good question from Segan Fisher, Mr. Segan Fisher. He said, "Please forgive me for my ignorance, as I have no knowledge of female sports. But women's sports has come a long way with football and boxing, and respect always. But will it ever be as big in comparison to the men?"
When we say this, we just saw the greatest tennis player of all time retire last week. And when I watched Serena Williams play, I'm not saying I'm watching women's tennis. I'm just watching tennis and her just breaking up everyone. So, right. So I believe that it's to the certain individuals that can capture or have that where you're not looking at gender, you're looking at the class of what they're demonstrating. So I would say, who knows? Because I don't watch the rest of the guys. I don't watch male tennis. I watch female tennis. This is the truth. You know what I mean? So, and because of her, I've become a tennis fan. So
I don't
would like to see, maybe one day it can.
Interesting. Well, it's a long way to go, but you know what? It started. I mean, it has started very well. I mean, last Saturday or yesterday's event would have been massive.
It would have been.
But the postponement is only 4 weeks away. I'm not sure if this fight is going to take place.
What fight? Savannah
against Clarissa, because the talk I'm hearing is, and I heard this from an interview Clarissa gave, that it's difficult. She got to go away again, make weight, go through press conference again, public workout. All of that is draining. And she's, there's other options. There's other options. This is the second time this fight has been postponed. And it is a lot really to ask them. I mean, they're professionals at the end of the day, so they got to do what they got to do. But it'd be a shame if the fight doesn't happen. I hope Adam Smith, Ben Shalom, and the whole Sky team could really get this over the line, because it's a great fight. And it's a great advertisement for boxing and women's boxing.
I totally agree. Totally agree.
So there's the AJ situation. We've got to really touch on this Ben Eubanks.
Yeah, we do.
Properly. I want to hear any questions from the live audience. But Spence, it's a tough fight. Thank you. First of all, thank you, Ikramuddin Zwain, for the 70 ZAR. I don't know how much ZAR is, but whatever it is, thank you very much. He said it equals $4 USD.
I don't business how much it. I just thank you for putting in the collection plate. It's Sunday.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Evening, great men. Spencer is right. That fight won't go away. It's too big. AJ can't give Fury the advantage. He must regroup. I also only watch female tennis, Spencer. 70 ZAR equals 4 USD. Salams. Salams to you as well, brother.
Yeah, salams to you, my brother. Thank you very much for the donation. Listen, man, like I said, I believe that this fight is so big that it won't go anywhere. And Tyson Fury is playing mind games, right? Because Tyson Fury is a genius for playing mind games because he's he's an intelligent man. He's a very intelligent man. But he's saying, look, I want to fight someone. I want a big fight. Now people are complaining that, because the talk is now that at the Principality Stadium in Wales is where AJ will end up, where Tyson Fury will end up fighting Manuel Charles.
I heard that.
Right? Now, Tyson Fury just wants to keep active. Right. Manuel Charles isn't the best of the opponents that they could find for him, but who else are they meant to find for him? Right? Because you think about it. He's beaten Deontay Wilder twice. He's beaten Dylan White. Usyk is unavailable through injury, I believe. Anthony Joshua needs to regroup. So who else is there for him to go and fight? Go on. Manuel Charles.
Manuel Charles is a decent guy.
Listen, especially if you're creating it as
Chris 123 Chrissy Blue says who?
right.
But on
the reels, I'm saying like if we have that fight, let's look at it more of a celebration of Tyson Fury's regal roleness. Right? Instead of us looking at, well, it's going to be a massively competitive fight. Because what I have realized with Tyson Fury is Tyson Fury doesn't have the fire in his belly against certain opponents. He drops to their level. Right? So if he could get the fire in his belly, then we'll see what's going on. The Hrgovic fight, Rams, I see you saying Hrgovic. But as far as I'm concerned, that Chinese man beat him the other day,
Well, it was a good fight, though.
No, really. As far as I'm concerned, that Chinese man beat him. So
that's a good fight for any heavyweight, That I don't really like to say the Chinese man. I don't really know his name. Is it Zhang? Zhang.
Yeah.
He's a good fight for anyone because he's got hands.
All right.
He can move. I don't know. He's maybe 40 odd, but he's a real good fighter. And I think he was unbeaten going into that fight.
He was unbeaten.
And I can see why. Because he caused Hrgovic all sorts of problems. So that is whoever fights that guy, that ain't no tune-up fight. Because that guy can.
All right.
Derek Chisora against Zhang. I know Derek's calling for that fight.
He is calling for it.
I don't know about that.
But you know what? Derek Chisora is reminiscent of a throwback fighter that you could win, lose again, win, get in with a top-ranked contender and get a win again and keep on going. Derek is that throwback fighter. He is. But like I'm saying, I wouldn't... With Derek, he needs to be careful.
Why is this brother keeping asking me the same question as Aziz Arthur who wins Tunde? Like, my brother, who are you? Are you one of the mans that were like, why you keep asking me the same? This guy, like when a man just keeps on putting up the same question over and over again. Usually people, what they do, they ignore your question. But I'm not one of them people. Like, I want to know, like, why are you so interested to hear who I think is going to win? Both of these, well, not both of these, but listen, we share a common bond in the fact that we share the ring twice with Lyndon Arthur. And he's a cool guy, Listen, he's a fighter, so he says certain things and, can rub. I actually, listen, there's a saying. If you're walking down a road and you trip up and you lick your foot against a rock, you don't get angry at the rock because a rock's a rock. You get what I'm saying? So when man's talking all this trash, I just let it slide because that's you, innit? So I'm not going to be upset with anything Lyndon Arthur has said now or during through the fight or after. He's a cool guy. He's a young man, and he's got dreams he wants to fulfill. Good fighter, good fighter, decent fighter. Dan Aziz, again, no Dan, grafter, throwback fighter. wants to fight anyone. You know, rough tumble. You know, you can look at Dan and feel, you know, listen, I can beat him. But Dan, it'll be in your face all night long if you ain't got lead in your hand. It's only when a man's got lead in their hand that you just think twice about coming. But suffice to say, Dan Aziz is a very, very capable fighter, a British champion for a reason, and it will be a good fight. You know, because I would say that Linda Arthur is a better version of Shakan Pitters. You know, so you know he ain't gonna be scared. He ain't gonna turn away, and he's gonna be there. So it's all about who can impose their style better on the night. So I'm not gonna give you an answer because I don't train any of them personally, so I can't give you a full answer. But what I do know is that will be a great domestic dust-up. Jay, I hope I've answered your question. But don't no one talk about that. Bro, come on, man. Anthony Yard is just different. I've said this for a long time.
Who's that? The Edo one. Did you read out that one there for the £5? Thank you very much for it. Evening Brothers, Crucial Shields has an MMA fight on November, so puts doubts on October 15th date. Both looking sharp this evening. Respect to you both. Enough love to you, my friend. I've heard that about Clarissa. You know what? I should have phoned Clarissa, you know, but I don't want to cuss her. I don't want to cuss me because she came to me and said, like, me and Tony's meant to take her out today to eat some fufu, man. She wanted to eat some fufu.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. But the restaurant we was going to take her to weren't open. And plus, we said, let's quickly go and do the show. And she was meant to phone me back, and I never got a hold of her.
One thing, let's not forget. Next week, and this is how you know that everything is just boxing is such a unpredictable sport. Because if this was 18 months ago, the whole world would be in clamor talking about this fight. And the fight I'm referring to, exactly, Fufu's gone in. The fight I'm referring to is Saul Canelo Alvarez versus GGG. It's just gone under the radar, fam.
We're talking about radar, Tunde. It's not gone underneath no radar. The radar can't even pick it up.
No one is even talking about it. We will be doing a watch along. 100%
we will be.
Because Canelo always brings good numbers for the fighters, right? So we're definitely gonna do the watch along, but it's just surreal to me how people are not really excited about this third fight, a fight which really is a serious fight for both guys. Because, you know, GGG win this fight, he can just say, you know what, I'm done with boxing now, I'm retiring.
Well, GGG's older.
Canelo loses this fight. Where does Canelo go after this?
Canelo is still a big, massive draw. So
we'll see by the numbers next week.
It will still, the numbers will be good. Canelo brings numbers. You know what I mean? It goes like this: it's 1 in 3 Mexicans watching when he fights. That's ridiculous. So
before, no, you're talking about past numbers.
Brother, even if he gets
the last fight didn't do well
on numbers, yeah,
from what I understand.
Okay.
It wasn't that great.
Okay.
So we'll have to see what this. And usually you feel it in the air. You usually hear people talking about this. You know, a fight of a magnitude. I'll be honest with you. I think there's been more interest for the Conor Ben Eubanks fight, but maybe that's just over here. Then there is, that's definitely just over here, because I know in America they're not talking about that fight the way they're talking about it over here. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm looking forward to a great fight next week. We will 100% be doing a watch along, because that's two monumental fighters up there. Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin, the man who claims to like Mexican style. But when Canelo brought the Mexican style in the second fight, he was backing off.
All right.
He weren't fighting Mexican style. He was doing some box and move thing. So, this fight is interesting. And Canelo GGG looked like he was visibly hurt to the body in that last fight.
It was.
Because I was watching that fight from a hotel in, what did I go? Brighton or Margate or something. I just went away for the weekend. And remember the fight was I think I was talking to you when the fight was going on. It was in like in the afternoon or something.
Yep.
Because it was Japan. And even though GGG came through, there were some little rough moments in that fight. And so we'll see. But for now, Eubanks Ben looks to be like it's going to be a fight of the ages. I don't really have a personal favorite going into the fight. Eubanks ain't fooling me when he's chatting about abstaining for sex for 2 weeks and all of that, and I don't even need a proper camp on it. Eubanks is training hard.
Of course he is.
Eubanks is training hard. He's taking this fight very seriously. But
of course he is.
He's a great salesman. But again, we were talking about this in the gym. Conor's been looking good in his past few fights. He's been looking very good, very strong. And we'll have to see if he can impose that mentality on, because Eubanks, for me, Eubanks has got everything as well. He can fight, he's got a chin, and he can box. Mm-hmm. He's been at a higher level for way longer, probably from the beginning, really. And so it's really going to be it's either going to be a coming out party for Conor Ben, or as Eubanks says, just a normal summer stroll in the park. But what's your gut feeling about the fight, Spence?
My gut feeling is I don't know, you know.
Yes.
Man said my Wi-Fi is playing out. That's a sign for me to jump off now. We give you over an hour. But I'm saying this, I'm gonna be real.
9 minutes. 9
minutes. All right, cool. I don't know. And the reason why I'm saying I don't know is this, yeah? Because Eubank is meant to win this fight hands down. He is. Let's just look at it. He's a bigger guy. Conor's never campaigned at this weight before and all the rest of it. But there's something that just tells me. Conor is one strong brother, you know.
Very, very strong you.
Right? He's one strong brother. When I was at, what fight was that? I was at the Derek Chisora fight when Derek fought Pulev, right? And I was walking around to get some drinks, and I see Conor. He come around, he give me a big hug, say, "Well, I swear to everybody, your mom, brother, the you nearly cracked my ribs."
No, that's because you're weak, bro.
No, Tony. The you is he's strong.
That's because you're weak, bro.
Tony, he's done. Yeah, whatever. The you is very, very strong.
Gary, McCrunny could crack some heads of ribs.
Right? The you is strong, Tony. Trust me on that one. He's strong. He's strong.
I know that, definitely.
He's a strong you. So we don't. What I'm saying is this: like, when Eubank is turning around and saying, "I don't need to train for you," that's a lie.
Say that again, mate.
When Eubank saying, "I don't need to train for you," that's a lie. But in this fight here, Roy Jones isn't going to be in his corner. It's going to be his father's going to be in his corner.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
You sure?
Now,
you sure?
I don't think that's a good idea, you know?
No, are you sure Roy Jones is not going to be in the corner?
Not going to be in the corner. His dad's going to be in the corner.
I can't believe. I don't think if Roy Jones is training Chris Eubanks Jr., he's going to be in that corner, Spence. He's going to be in that corner. Tintin says, what kind of roles do you think the fathers will play prior to the fight? Well, I can say that Nigel Benn Sr., he ain't in the limelight thing. He's given his son the freedom to be his own man, from what I can see from the outside looking in.
Sorry, Tony. Rams has just confirmed it. Roy Jones confirmed. He said he didn't want to steal the thunder off of the fathers. So Roy Jones is not working for the fight.
Yeah, but why? But this is what I don't understand. Steal the thunder from the fighters, so it's from the fathers. But so who's the fight about? The fathers or the sons?
Well, I think it's more to do with the lineage of the fathers and it being thrusted onto the sons. Because to tell you the honest truth, Ton, if Conor Ben was that guy, but he wasn't. He was named Conor Jones, and if Chris Eubank Jr. was called Chris Billy Jones, nobody would give a damn about this fight. I mean, it's the magnetism and the lineage of the history, what the two fathers presented as well, and why it's made this fight so big. And it's a very, very good sales pitch by DAZN that need something right now. And this come at the right time for them to say, let's put this on because we want to start our pay-per-view platform because people will buy this fight.
Well, we're going to see about that.
I believe people will buy this fight.
Well, I'm going to buy it.
Well, you don't buy no fights, son.
I do buy the fights.
Shut up.
Sometimes.
Don't let me expose
Yeah, but I've
you.
got DAZN. I'm a DAZN.
Subscribe, but yeah, Ton. So am I. But the thing about it is, I hardly watch DAZN, so I might just stop this subscription.
It's only a few quid.
When man's telling you it's only a few. When man's telling you like it's an 80% rise in electric bill and all that kind of foolish, I might just have to cut off DAZN, bro. I'm telling you this now. You know what I mean?
Well, I love boxing, so whatever it is, I'm gonna pay. I'm all gonna pay. We're all gonna pay, so we can complain as much as we want. If you're a boxing fan, you're buying that fight, or you're doing something, streaming it, or using Spencer's TV to stream it onto your mobile phone. But we're gonna watch the fight. Ladies and gentlemen, we've had a great evening, and it's just been good talking to you all about boxing. You know, the sport we love. Everybody's got opinions. And we don't always agree, but at the end of the day, it's all for the love of this sport we call boxing. And I'm grateful that people will actually take time out this Sunday evening and tune in and listen to us, Spence. It's always...
Thank you very much. Tintin, don't be silly. Of course, I have Eubank Senior's number in my black book. Eubank Senior blessed our show 2 years ago. 2 years when we first started.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a minor one there. There is a minor one there to get Eubank Senior on the show. But whereas
no way is that happening. No way can that fight do 1 million pay-per-view fights.
Yeah, Port L Finance.
That's not possible.
I can't. Not 1 million.
That's not possible.
It's going to do numbers, but not 1 million. And not only that, I tell you the thing that's difficult. It's going to be difficult to access the app because remember the app isn't on your TV, you know. You have to download it, so it's not one of them ones there. So it's going to be kind of difficult to purchase in the first place. And also, why Tyson Fury's fight against Dillian White is so good, even though it was on BT, but you could purchase it via Sky.
Yeah.
Right? Sky have categorically said ban the zone. Furthermore, we want the zone to call dead zone. We're not helping them. So it's not been easy, but I'm going to purchase the fight. And I think if you're a true boxing fan, just for the nostalgia and the histrionics, you're going to purchase the fight as well. And just for like on certain things like, well, one day if he could do something, we're going to purchase the fight.
Yeah. Old type
Leo, we got my sister from another mister.
She's braiding her hair, but she said, "Bub, been watching. Great show as always. Come on." Love that. No matter, nothing can't stop people watching the show. There's no big fights before then, and the boxing public are hungry for a big fight. It will do numbers, yeah, but not 1 million. I'm sure you're not aware of how difficult it is to do 1 million pay-per-view buys. I don't even think Javante has done 1 million. You're talking Mayweather numbers.
Yeah. It's only special creatures that do.
Yeah. 1 million is next level. There's a lot of buys. Old tight Jose, Joe, love you guys from Brooklyn, New York City. Almost riding into 9:30. Blood Count Fury says no sucking chicken marrow tonight. Bro. He was. I don't know what Spencer was yamming today. Some donuts or something.
Donuts is the one, bro. Segan Fisher, great show again. Spencer, always entertaining the people. Keep up the good work. Listen, man. I want the next thing. I want people to realize this part again, yeah? The idea of this show, 2.5 years ago, it was Tunde Ajayi. He said, look, I bought this equipment. Come, let's do the show. Before, I didn't want to talk boxing with you. Come do the show. My contract wasn't renewed from Sky. And I got loads of offers and some big money offers as well to go on certain platforms. And I said, you know what? It would be befitting of me to do this with my brother. And loads of people thought, it won't work because of synergy and I couldn't see it working. Those same people have to come and apologize to me and say, right, the show's fantastic because I have to tune into it each and every week. And that is where it goes. You know what I mean? There is no better thing by doing something that you're passionate about, but you're doing it with your friends also, who's also just as passionate as you are. You know what I mean? Because energy goes where it flows and birds of a feather flock together. And on that note, my brother from another mother, Baba Tunde Ajayi, will call the show in closing and say,
come on. Ladies and gentlemen, brother, you see Sundays. I love Sundays, you know. I'm just being honest with you. Because, you know, Sundays is usually dry. Everyone's just getting ready, ironing the shirt, getting ready for Monday, like, back to the old rat race. But Sunday evenings now for me is actually an energy booster.
come on.
I'll get in Texas. I finish the show at 10. You see what I'm saying? This show is a real food for thought going in. And I know Adam Smith has already revealed. These men are watching the show. Adam Smith, Eddie Hearn. I know Frankie Blue Eyes can't be watching it. You know, Frankie's locking off from 9. No one can't get through to, only certain people can get through to Frank Warren at 9 o'clock. But I know George is always, Francis maybe. But we all know at some point, somebody's going to let them know about the Sunday evening show because it's just great, Spence. And I'm I'm grateful for just having the opportunity to break bread with you. Well, you phone me about 100 times a day, but on the Sundays it's even better to spend the evening talking boxing with you. So, ladies and gentlemen, on that note, let us end not at 10 p.m. as my good friend has asked me to do, crying on the phone. Nah. We're going to finish this thing out and keep it. You know, listen, it was a great man that says absence creates wantonness. If you keep on showing, man, start dashing like him again.
Yeah, that was actually Napoleon Bonaparte that said that.
There you go, Napoleon Bonaparte. I read my books as well. So, yeah, we just got to keep it, you know, where you want more. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, let us once again send condolences and a raised glass to Queen Elizabeth II. May you rest in eternal paradise. Dream it, believe it, become it.
Come on down. See you guys in the week for another show because that's how it goes. Peace, 2 fingers, we out. Thank you very much.